for life. Just going to give you guys a couple of minutes to come in. For those of you who are just getting in, if you weren't here yesterday, there is a video that I did, and I will go ahead and I'll post that link below at the end of this video, so you have a chance to catch up on yesterday's video as well. Over the next a total of 21 days, what I'm going to be doing is coming live every day at the same time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be going over and giving you different tips that it'll be different tips about eating well, tips to build immunity, how to convert, to change some of the items that you're using into more natural items, that sort of thing. So I'll be doing this for the next 21 days, and today is day 3 of what I like to call Lead Your Health. As you're coming in, just simply say hi or just post a comment in the comment section saying hello. So what I'm going to be talking about today, I'm going to be giving you about 25 tips on clean living. You hear a lot about clean eating, basically eating organic and that sort of thing, but you don't really hear a lot of people talk about clean living. So what I'm going to do is give you some quick tips, 25 or so, about how to about clean living, basically, and it's simply how to have a toxic-free environment as much as you possibly can. Now, this is not going to be an overnight thing. I'm going to give you a challenge at the end of the video that you can implement. You can do it over the weekend. You can try to do one thing each day over the next few days. It is entirely up to you how you want to implement it. What I'm here today to tell you or to show you is how you can live in a toxic-free environment. And if you might think that you do right now, and if you're doing that, I'd love to hear how you're achieving that. I know some people do some things, but not realizing that there are other things that can also be implemented to make it an even better experience for them, right? Hi, Miss Nancy. Thanks for joining me. So what I'm going to do is just simply go through and give you a few quick tips on how you can have a toxic-free home, and go through, do your own little mini makeover, and go from there. All right. So the first thing on my list is fill your house with plants. Plants actually help to clean the air, to filter the air. So if you look around, there are 2 plants in front of me that I'm looking at right now, and then I have a couple more in my bedroom. Certain plants actually pull chemicals from the air and then also give out oxygen. So that's a win-win. And I'm not going to go into any details about what specific type of plants, because I can do that in another video if that's what you'd like to see. So if you'd like for me to go into more detail about the specific plants that you should have in your home for certain things, then I can certainly do that. But the first thing I want to tell you about is plants. Put plants in your home. It's a win-win. Okay. The second thing is to get yourself a salt lamp, and you've probably seen these big pink salt lamps floating around the internet, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's made of Himalayan pink salt, and I won't go into any details about how it cleans your air again, because I'm sure that you'll be able to go down that rabbit hole by yourself. But having a salt lamp in your home is very, very beneficial to you, specifically where your lungs are concerned. It was one of the first things that I purchased when I was diagnosed with emphysema, and it has helped me tremendously. And it does help if you have one in each room, but it's better to just have one, and if you just have that one in the room that you spend the most time in. All right, so that's number 2. Get yourself a salt lamp. Number 3, ditch the artificial fragrances. And by that I mean, all the different sprays that you might spray around the home to make your home smell nice. You're not realizing that you're actually spraying a bunch of chemicals. Most homes have, I would say, on average, about 500 different chemicals throughout their home at any given time. And as I go through my list, you're going to see where these chemicals pop up, and you're not even realizing that they are actually there. So the artificial fragrances that you're spraying around are, yes, they might smell good, but they contain a lot of hormone disruptors. And lots of chemicals are in there. Once they get into your system, they could cause breathing issues, among other things. All right. So I've talked extensively about using essential oils and how you can use essential oils to create lots of different things. And what I can do is I'll post the link of I think it was the very first live that I did this week. And I'll post the link for that below because I talked extensively about the use of essential oils. Okay. All right, so, another thing is get yourself a diffuser. And a diffuser is simply a device where you put some water in, you put a couple drops of essential oils in. When you turn it on, it simply sends that fragrance into the air. It's natural, smells good, gives you everything that you're looking for without all of the chemicals, right? Number 4 is to use glass instead of plastic. Try to get rid of as much plastic as you possibly can out of your home. I know that there's this certain plastic that's BPA free, and that's fine if you can have BPA free plastic in your home. That's okay, but try to get rid of as much plastic as you can and use glass. And whenever you might buy your bottle of spaghetti it's in a glass jar, save the bottle. I mean, you can drink out of the glass jar. Okay, we don't need to have these fancy glasses to drink out of. I went to a friend's home once, and all she had were mason jars, and that's what we drank out of. But saving the glass not only saves it from the recycling or from the trash. I mean, you can use it. You can store different teas. You can use it to store different tea blends, and I'll show you a couple ways that I recycle my glass jars, but try to get away from plastic as much as you possibly can. Number 5 is to use natural cleaning products. And I know it does tend to get pricey when you're trying to go natural, but the thing is, when you stick to natural products, those don't cause any adverse effects on you. It's using all of the other chemically laden products that actually cause the negative effects, which then make you sick, and then you have to go to the doctor and you spend money to see the doctor. You get my point? It becomes more expensive that way. So invest to get the proper chemical free items that are going to keep you healthy, rather than spending a bunch of money after you're ill. Number 6, let me make sure I didn't, natural cleaning products. Let me go back just for a minute. Epsom salt. I don't use laundry detergent, and that might sound bad initially. I use Epsom salts and essential oils to wash my clothing, because I want you to do this because I'm going to give you some homework at the end. I want you to go through and look on your box of laundry detergent and read the ingredients that are on there, and tell me how many of them you recognize, how many of them you can pronounce, probably, and then compare to the ingredients that I just mentioned: Epsom salt and essential oils. And there's certain essential oils that I put in, like lavender. I put in some clove, peppermint, and a few other things, because I do want to have that nice smell, but it also cleans my clothes. Whatever bacteria might be on there, it actually takes care of all of that as well. All right, so that was number 5. Number 6, and this is mostly for women, makeup. If you wear makeup, take a look at all of the containers of all your makeup and look at all of the ingredients. They are filled with chemicals. So one of the suggestions I'd like to make is to search out more companies that make more natural makeup and start to invest in those, because you have to remember your skin is a giant sponge. Whatever you put on there, it's going into your skin, right? You take a shower, that water gets absorbed into your skin, and whatever chemicals are in the water, it's getting absorbed into your skin, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. So whatever makeup you're putting on, it's getting absorbed into your skin. Whatever chemicals are in that makeup is getting absorbed into your skin. Number 7 is to cook using stainless steel or copper. Try to stay away from that non-stick stuff, because eventually over time, all of that, whatever is in the non-stick, the chemicals in the non-stick leaches into your foods. And then after a while, it also starts to peel off, and then some of that could get into your food, and you're putting that into your body. So try to cook using stainless steel, copper, and also stay away from aluminum. There are a lot of cookware nowadays that's made with aluminum or different alloys, and you can't really tell whether or not aluminum is in there. But aluminum has been known to cause issues relating to Alzheimer's, so you definitely want to stay away from the aluminum as well as the non-stick. Okay. Number 8. Try to invest in bedding and mattresses that are have been made with more natural ingredients. By that I mean like organic bedding, because a lot of the bedding is laden with different chemicals. I'm going to give you a couple tips later on, because there are a few other things I want to talk about on how, if you have to bring those into your home, how to prevent most of the odor from getting into your home, how to vacuum on a regular basis to, get rid of a lot of the dust that can accumulate from sleeping on the bed, as well as, when you sleep on the bed, you also shed skin, so you're kind of cleaning lots of different things off of the mattress and your sheets as well. So try to invest in organic bedding if you possibly can. Now, I don't expect you all to do every single thing on this list, because I'm going to give you about 25 different tips. But what I'm hoping that you do is that you go through your home and you kind of, you look and you see where you can improve on implementing some of these ideas that I'm giving you. And the other thing with investing in more organic bedding is there are less chances of fire starting, because the thing is, a lot of the bedding, there's a chemical that's put in to prevent fires, a fire retardant. I don't know what the exact chemical is, but you can smell it a lot in the bedding. So that's one of the reasons why I mentioned try to get organic bedding as much as possible, but also to try to vacuum. There is an attachment. You can take the hose off, put the attachment on, and vacuum your bed as much as possible to get rid of that dust that can build up from from sleeping on the mattress, and then all of the chemicals as well, because that gets into the air as well, and then you're also breathing that stuff in, right? All right, number 9 is to test for radon. Radon is odorless, and it's also radioactive, and you won't know that it's in your home unless you actually test for it. So get yourself a radon test kit. It's fairly inexpensive, and test for radon in your home. That's tip number 9. Tip number 10 is probably going to make a lot of people upset. Remove carpeting. Carpeting is filled with chemicals, and if you ever had a young baby, yes, rolling around on the carpet is nice and cozy and comfortable, and it just feels really good. But at the same time, it is filled with so many chemicals, and you don't realize that you're breathing all of this stuff in. So if you can get rid of carpet, put in tile. You can also put down some area rugs that are not like really, like fuzzy. If you absolutely have to have, some kind of area rug in there, but try to remove carpeting from your home if you possibly can. Tip number 11. use dryer balls instead of the dryer sheets. You know that you put those laundry sheets in, and they make your clothes smell good, and they kind of take away the static. Well, that is also filled with a bunch of chemicals. So what you want to do is then just invest in a couple wool balls, or I know that the Dollar Tree also carries these that are, I think they're a little harder. I really don't like those either. I just prefer the wool because there's no chemicals and it's a natural material. So and you do get the benefit of the static free at the end. You don't get the fragrances unless you want to. You can put some essential oils onto the wool ball and toss that into the dryer, so you can get some fragrance into your clothing. But you don't. You also get the static, but you just don't get all those chemicals from the other fabric sheets. Okay. Number 12, and I mentioned that a little bit earlier, so just make your own laundry detergent. It's very, very easy to make. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money on this giant box when you can simply make it yourself. Epsom salts is one of the easiest things. Baking soda, you can also add that in. So just do a little bit of research and find out how you can make some of these things by yourself. And you might find out that you're saving a lot of money just making it yourself. Okay. Number 13 has to do with dry cleaning. If you take your clothing to have them dry cleaned, hi Lisa. If you take your clothing to have them dry cleaned, before you take them into your house and stick them into the closet, take off that piece of plastic and allow your clothing to kind of air out for several minutes before you actually tuck it into your closet with all of the other clothes. It allows all of the chemicals that the dry cleaners use on your clothing. It allows those chemicals to kind of dissipate a little bit. I don't know if you've ever smelt your clothing when you bring them from the dry cleaners. That's nothing but chemicals that you're smelling. So before you take them and put them into your closet, take off the plastic, air them out a little bit before you go and hang them among your other clothing. Okay? Tip number 14, have a no shoes in the house policy. If you could look at my feet right now, I have on these cute little pair of slippers, and if I'm leaving the house, I have some shoes at the door that I can sit my feet into to go out. So as we come in, there's a mat, wipe our feet off, I take off my shoes, leave them at the door, and then I put on some slippers. That way, I mean, it's amazing the kind of germs that you actually bring into the house on the bottoms of your shoes. And if you're walking from room to room, you're literally tracking all of that. So try to implement the no shoes in the house policy if you can. Okay, I know that's going to be a little bit harder, especially if you have young kids and they're outside running up and down playing, and they come in and they're running all over the place. I understand the challenge. Been there. All right, so that was tip number 14. Tip number 15 is to open your windows and air out your house. I know right now there's a lot of us still kind of under quarantine somewhat. And I know my son, if I mention opening the windows, his first expression is, no, Corona. But I kind of have to, convince him that it's really not going to float into our house. Open up your windows and allow the air to kind of, circulate so you can get some fresh air in. Fresh air is good. So that's tip number 15. Tip number 16 is to use untreated fabrics as much as possible. And I kind of hinted at that when I was talking about getting organic bedding for your beds, that sort of thing. The same thing applies to the furniture. Try to have furniture that it hasn't been treated. I think the one I'm sitting on here is leather and suede, so there's not a whole lot of treatment. But if you do get brand new furniture, one tip is to leave, if you have the space for this, you may not have the room, but before you bring the new furniture into your home, if you have a garage, take off all of the plastic that it comes wrapped up in, and just let the new furniture sit in the garage for a couple of days so it can, what they call, off gas. So all of the chemicals that are in the new furniture, when you get a new car and you sit inside and you got that new car smell, where there's a new furniture smell, it's just pure chemicals that you're smelling. So allow your furniture to off gas in your garage if you can, Not everybody has a garage, I understand that. And then, if you have to bring it into your home because you don't have a garage, just simply open up your windows and allow the off-gassing to take place before you seal your house back up again. I'm hoping all of this is kind of making sense and you're getting a little bit of some ideas as to how you can implement this for yourself. Number 17 is to change your AC filters often. I know some people change them once a month. There's some filters that you don't have to change for about 3 months, but check your AC filters. I mean, the air gets dirty. Your filters might get dirtier a lot more quickly during the summertime, or I think mine did during the winter because it was usually really dry, so there was a lot of dust being kicked up, that sort of thing. But your filters don't really have a timer on them to say, oh, it's 30 days, now it's time to change. If it's dirty after 3 weeks, then go ahead and change it. So check your AC filters regularly and change them out whenever it's needed. Tip number 18 is to check for mold. If you find that you're coughing a lot and there's really no reason for you to be coughing because you don't have a cold, I would check for mold. And mold kits are relatively inexpensive. There could be hidden mold in the walls. There's a lot of places that mold can hide. In the carpet, I just mentioned about the carpet. So get a mold kit if you suspect that there might be mold, because mold can wreak havoc on your body. It gets into your lungs, gets into all of everywhere, and you can get really, really sick from having from mold. Number 19. And this tied around what I was talking about earlier with the furniture and allowing it to off-gas. The same thing goes for toys. Let's say you bought that perfect stuffed teddy bear. Before you give that toy to your child, take it out of the box. Take it out of the box and allow it to off-gas, because the same thing with that new car smell and that new smell and the new furniture smell. The same thing with that toy. Allow all of the gases to come off of it. And if you can, if you're giving it as a gift, I would take it out of the box for a little bit, let it off gas, then put it back into the box, and then you can wrap it up and give it as a gift. Just some ideas, just to kind of get rid of some of those chemicals. Hi, Miss Sylvia. All right, so the new furniture and the new toys kind of tied together. Tip number 20 is to turn your phone to airplane mode whenever you're not using it, or when you go to bed at night. This is to reduce the EMF radiation and the effects that it can have on your body. I'm not going to go into that. I did a video on that a few weeks ago, and I can link that below if you'd like to watch that. But EMFs is a huge problem these days. For people who have fibromyalgia, it can be a huge issue. And you may not necessarily feel like you're being affected by it, but everybody reacts to EMF frequencies differently. So this is just one tip on how to reduce the effects of it. The best thing would be to just not have electronics in your bedroom at night. That's the best solution. But if you have to have your phone in there, just turn it to airplane mode, and that will help to reduce the EMFs. There are also other ways, and I'll post the video. I posted a video where I talked about the EMF radiation in detail. I'll post that below at the end of this one. Tip number 21 is to vacuum your mattress. I think I might have mentioned that earlier. Vacuuming your mattress and your furniture often. Most vacuums come with a little attachment where you can take the hose off, put the attachment, and you can vacuum your mattress and your furniture. The thing is, a lot of us don't really think about, we wash our sheets maybe once a week, hopefully at least once a week. But we don't really think about vacuuming the mattress, because when you're laying down, you're shedding skin. I mean, this is not the same skin that I had on yesterday, right? Because you shower, you scrub. So you're always losing skin, and there's dead skin cells all over the bed, all over the furniture. So you want to make sure that you're vacuuming that stuff up. That's another way. Tip number 22 And this was something I found on the internet, and I don't agree with this necessarily, but then again, some people might actually keep their pillows this long. My tip was to replace your pillows, I believe, every year. Most people say to replace your pillows every 5 years. You can tell me how long do you keep a pillow before you replace it? I say if it's starting to go flat after 6 months, replace it, right? So I'm going to say a year, because typically after about a year, my pillows are shot. If I have to constantly be beating it to kind of fluff it up, then it needs to go and I'll get a new one. So you can tell me, give me an idea of how long you actually keep your particular pillows for. All right, so that's tip number 22. Replace your pillows whenever you feel they need to be replaced. If it's less than 5 years, that's fine. All right, tip number 23 is to use natural personal care products and do as much DIY as you possibly can. And I'm going to post an article that I wrote several years ago about different things that you can make with essential oils. I know I talk about essential oils a lot, and that's because, hi Sherry Lee, thank you for coming. And that's because essential oils are some powerful things, and they can replace so many things in your home. From your cleaning supplies, and I'm going to share a couple things with you as well. From your cleaning supplies, you can use them to make makeup. You can use them to make beauty products. And you'll see from this article just how many things that you can use essential oils for that people don't normally think about. You use it to make soap. You don't really have to go out and buy pre-made soap, you know. All right, so use natural personal care products. And if you don't want to make them yourself, then you can find companies, reputable companies that make natural products that are not going to harm you, that don't have all of these chemicals inside of them. That's tip number 23. Tip number 24 is to get a water filtration system. If you tested the water that comes out of your faucet, you'll be shocked at the amount of chemicals from chlorine, fluoride, and all of those things. And those have been proven, fluoride especially has been proven to have a negative impact on the body. And it's a major hormone disruptor, affects the brain in so many different ways. So buy your water if you can, or put some kind of filtration device on your faucets, wherever you get your water from. Tip number 25, again around the water filtration, is to get a filter for your shower. I mentioned that your skin is a huge sponge, so whatever goes onto your skin goes into your skin, right? Because it absorbs. I like to say that, your skin literally has millions and millions of tiny little mouths. So if you can just picture that, and then every time you take a shower and that water is filled with all these chemicals, it's basically every pore is opening up their mouth and just inviting all of that in. So and with every chemical that comes out of every drop of that water, right, from your shower. So get one of those filters and attach to your shower head. That way you know that the water that's coming into your body is pure. That was tip number 25, but I do have a few extras. And I mentioned, I've been kind of hinting at these over the last couple of videos. And yesterday I think I spoke quite a bit about it as well. Eat organic, non-GMO as much as you possibly can. I know eating organic food is pricey, but so is going to a doctor when you eat all of these foods that are laden with all of these different toxins. So try to eat as much organic foods as you possibly can. Eat whole foods, less processed stuff. So try to bring in, whole foods and as much unprocessed foods into your home as much as possible. That's tip number 26. I have a couple bonuses for you as well. Here's another tip. Prescription meds and over-the-counter medications, especially when it comes to cold and flu. And right now, we have this huge flu going around, and that's one of the big concerns, is how do we build our immune system so that we are not impacted like so many people have been since this coronavirus has been going around, right? I'm going to share with you a couple things that I keep on a regular basis. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a lupus survivor, or lupus thriver, I like to call it. I was diagnosed with lupus about 8 years ago, and I can show you pictures of where I was close to death. I was in the ER on the verge of a heart attack because of medications that nearly killed me. And I can show you images that would scare you. But bottom line is, here I am 8 years later, and my blood work shows no sign of lupus whatsoever, and my doctors are shocked. And I'm here to tell you that you can heal from chronic illnesses, and I've taken many, many different steps, and it has been a hard road, but it has been a road that was so well worth it. And I'm going to share with you a couple things that I use on a regular basis, because my immune system right now, I mean, I go out, I wear my mask, of course, and I have other things, you know, my little tools that I take with me to kind of, you know, help to boost my little protection as I go about, right? But people are scared to go out right now because the simple act of breathing can make you sick, right? But I'm going to share with you a couple of things and if you want to hear more about any of these, I can certainly do another live on them as well. So a lot of the over-the-counter medicines that you can get, they can wreak havoc on your gut. I mean, you take something, and you can read the labels for yourself. You take it for a cold or a flu, and then you read the side effects, and the side effects the list is so long. And then if you go to the doctor and something happens, as you know, like one of those side effects, then the doctor gives you a medicine for the side effect that it caused, which now creates some other problem. So you see, you kind of go, it's a snowball effect. You start off with one, and then another problem starts, and then they give you another medication, where you can simply learn how to build your own immune system using proper foods, using different herbs and spices that you may already have in your kitchen. Right, so that's tip number 27, is to just try to make your own immune boosting methods from food, and different herbal medicines. Essential oils also help. And I'm going to share with you, like I promised, different things that I have in my little arsenal. Okay, one of the things, and I make a lot of this is fire cider, and some of the herbs have kind of settled on the bottom. So what I drink is actually here, because this is quite powerful. And this, if you've ever heard of Rosemary Gladstar, I believe is her name. She was the one who actually first came out with fire cider many years ago. And there was a huge lawsuit where somebody else tried to copyright the name of, the name fire cider, and Rosemary Gladstar won out in the end because it was her product that she created. But aside from that, this is some powerful stuff. You take, and this is actually concentrated. What I do is I pour maybe a shot glass of this into either some juice or into some water, and I just sip on that, and that is my medicine. This has things like garlic and horseradish and onions and oh gosh, lots of really, really good immune boosting herbs and spices. Cinnamon is in here, ginger is in here. And you take this on a regular basis, among a few other things that I'm going to show you. You won't be getting a cold or flu and a bunch of other things, okay? Because what it does, it's going to, and I'm going to, I forgot to mention alkaline water. Keeping your body in an alkaline state will also prevent you from becoming sick. And a lot of people don't really realize that, because a lot of the foods that we eat are so acidic, and our bodies are constantly in an acidic state. So that's how we develop all of these illnesses. All right, but fire cider is one that I always have. And let me show you. I'm sure you've probably heard me talk about elderberries. I always have elderberries, and this is it in the dried form. I use this to make elderberry syrup. I also have it added to several different tea blends that I make. And this is what I call my vitamin C blend, because everything in here is loaded with vitamin C, which is also really good for your immune system, right? So this has hibiscus flowers, it's got peppermint, it has hyssop, and it's got elderberries, among a few other things. So if you want to hear me talk about any of these herbs as well, please just mention that, and I can do another live on those. Because what I'm trying to do is to teach people that you can build your immune system without having to, be on prescription medications and all of this stuff. Build your immune system naturally. You won't have to worry whenever some virus or winter comes along and the cold and flu season is here. This is another blend. I like to call this my winter wellness blend because I drink this a lot whenever it gets really cold, but I actually drink it all year long, and I just got it refilled. So I have my recipe on here as well so that I know exactly remember how to make it. So that is another item that is always available. I mentioned about making your own cleaning items. This is my Carpet Fresh, because there is carpet. I live with my sister. There is carpet in the room, and I make my own Carpet Fresh. And this is made from baking soda and essential oils like clove, and there's peppermint and lavender, and there's also frankincense in here. And if you've heard me talk about clove is a powerful antiseptic, so I make sure I have that in here as well. I can't really do much about the carpet in the room because this is a rented place, so we can't really rip the carpet out, but we are in the process of looking for a place. So make your own Carpet Fresh rather than buying that stuff that it smells nice, but you don't know exactly what's in there to give it the fragrance, right? A lot of the fragrances are artificial, so you want to make sure that, if you want to know what's going into your carpets, just make your own. It's so easy. Baking soda costs maybe, $0.25 for a box. And then all you have to do is just add in a few essential oils, let it sit for a few days so that it really gets dried and absorbed into the baking soda, and then sprinkle it on your carpet. Really easy. And I've shown this several times. This is one of my cleaning sprays. I use this to clean, and I know it looks kind of dirty. That's because it's actually lots of herbs that have been infused in there. But I spray this on the doorknobs. I use it to clean the countertops. I use it to clean the bathroom, the toilet, the sink, everywhere. And I also use this to spray on my mask whenever I'm out in public and I'm walking around, because it just smells so good, and it has lots of different essential oils in here that are antibiotic, antiseptic, all of those things. So I also make my own cleaning sprays. And one other thing and this is probably one of the simplest ways, is to change the type of toothpaste that you're using. There's so many of us who are using fluoride-laden toothpaste. This is charcoal or activated charcoal toothpaste, has no fluoride in there whatsoever, whitens your teeth, and cleans your breath, does everything that a regular toothpaste does and more, but without all of the fluoride. So one simple step that you can take is just change the toothpaste that you're using on a regular basis, right? So I think I've given you a lot that you can work with. That was 27 tips to kind of help to detox your home. So if you have any questions, just post them in the comment section below, and if you have any questions now, you can do so. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a challenge, and that challenge is, I want you to pick maybe 3 out of the 27 tips that I just gave. I think 3 is plenty. If you want to implement more, that's fine. I don't know how busy your life is right now, because I know a lot of places are opening up again. So pick about 3, and for the next few days, implement those in your home. I think 3 should be plenty, and then over the next few days, implement a few more. This video is going to be live here for you, or recorded here for you, so you can always come back and watch it again and again, as many times as you want. But yeah, just pick 3 to 5 to implement over the next few days, and see how you feel. And then maybe you can go along and implement a few more over the next couple of weeks, and maybe by the end of the year, you will have a completely, detoxed home. Or you can start this way. Start with maybe your, wherever you keep your cleaning supplies, look at all of the cleaning supplies, look at all of the different chemicals that are on there, and see where you can switch out a more natural cleaning product for, or where you may be able to make your own cleaning product as a substitute for what you have currently. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so that is your challenge. I would love to hear how you're doing. So please come back and post your progress in the comment section below, or just send me a message. I'd love to know how you're doing as far as these are concerned, and what sort of what sort of methods you're using to detox your home. One of my friends, actually, just before I came on live, a friend of mine, Karma, was we were texting back and forth because she was in TJ Maxx and she was finding some amazing items, from bath salts to different lotions, and they were all made with lots of natural remedies, of natural materials, because she is now in the process of trying to really go through and detox the personal products that she has been using for more natural products. So maybe that's where you want to start as well, because I know women especially, we have so many different products that we use on a daily basis, from makeup, think of makeup, think of the lipstick. The minute we put on that lipstick, that's right into our skin, right? So the moment you take a shower with your favorite shower gel, that's right into your skin. So for women especially, that's a huge area, is all of the personal products that we use on a daily basis. For guys, it might be the shower gel that you might be using, or it could be, those different items that you use in your garage to clean your car or to clean your motorcycle, whatever the case is. So there's a lot that you can work with. So just go ahead and pick a few. That's my challenge. You just 3 to 5 that you can implement over the next few days and over the next coming weeks. And then you can certainly try to implement as many of these over the next few months throughout the year. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Again, I would love to hear from you. Either send me a message or simply post it in the comment section. I'd love to hear how you're doing. And I will see you all back here again at the same time tomorrow at around 2:30, God's willing. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I do appreciate you being here. All right. Love you all.